Yeah, lots of cat women this week. Hi, I'm Mark, and this is Subliteral Network. I make art and comics, and thanks for watching. Remember to hit like and subscribe and to leave your feedback in the comments. And I post art daily, 5 days a week on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And this is a roundup of that work in case you missed it, with a little more detailed description added. You can read my Una the K Bunny comics free at radiocomics.com, and please visit my Patreon page if you'd like to support my work. All these links are in my description and bio, and please watch till the end so you don't miss anything. I've drawn some of Bill Black's Femforce comics, and he published quite a bit of the work that I used to do for him, and I had done a few of them, and then I said to myself, I really want to take some time and try to sharpen up what I'm doing. If I'm going to be doing, like, girly comics with a lot of beautiful superheroines in it, I want to slow down and make sure that they are good looking in the scenes. Just take each scene, break it down, figure out how to make them attractive in each scene. So that was going to take some time. So I sat down and did some pencils to get myself, to focus myself and see how I was going to accomplish that. This is one of my, he's never seen these. I've never sent them to him. I never volunteered it as a story. But this is one of my favorite she-cat, that's the character, she-cat drawings in the book, because the few pages that I did, not a book. But I just wanted to say, take the time and say, listen, she's standing there, her butt is facing towards the camera. Make it look nice. Don't just zip it out because you have to get on to the next page. Kind of give it a pin-up quality. So I really wanted to see if I could do it, and if I could do it consistently. The pencils are still hanging around. They came out okay. I might change some things on them and ink them up and stuff, because there's a nice basis to work on there. But I was really happy with the fact that I was able to get the kind of results that I was aiming for. These are the penciled for some Catwoman pages that I drew using her second season Batman the Animated Series design. Everything got streamlined, everything got simplified, everything just got more intense. And this book, the Batman the Animated Series book, is a permanent addition to my bookshelf. It contains all the designs, storyboards, layouts, just about everything connected with the Batman animated series. And it has been one of the major artistic inspirations to me as I've been working, because what I was doing during a certain time was simplifying my design, because I was doing a cartoon strip. I was starting Una the K Bunny. So the Batman animated designs were a real I really focused on them and tried to learn what they were doing and how they were cutting out unnecessary stuff in a design and emphasizing what was necessary, until they got so minimalist and so beautiful at the same time. It's just a fantastic approach, fantastic results. Catwoman had been just stripped down to this, just a handful of lines and a black just a black shape with these eyes. I loved what they did with her. They just took everything away from her and left just the cat villainous part, and it really worked. I loved what they did. They did this with all of those characters. They just reduced them down to a point where you couldn't believe how few lines they were putting in to create the character. And it was freaking groundbreaking, if you ask me. I just think that the idea of reduction in design, even if you don't stick with it, it really yields a lot. This was from a pretty old one-page comic that I drew, and I really do like drawing guns. I just feel like I have a thing. Well, one of the things I'm interested in is drawing really technical stuff. Even though I don't do a ton of it, because the reason is it takes forever. But when you're doing comics, I think it's necessary to take a little extra time. If you're drawing something like a gun, a lot of complicated parts, it has to look a certain way. Take the time and draw it correctly, and it'll just help you later on. Something I don't like about a lot of comics is kind of a slapdash approach because people have deadlines and they really want to get work done, and they may or may not know how to draw something that well, so they kind of fudge it. And I realize that if I do that, it makes the stuff look bad. It makes it look like a disposable comic or some crap. And at the end of your days, you don't want to say that I produced crap on a monthly basis for money. You want it to be your best work. The best comics that you usually remember are the best drawn. Great stories aside, you reread it and you're constantly kind of reignited visually. And so many good artists do that. And I feel like that's something to shoot for. That's something you really ought to do. So I took my time and I drew the gun accurately. It's a Colt 1851 Navy revolver, and that is it's a specific thing, and it looks a specific certain way. And I said I'm just going to do it, and I really like the results I got. And as time goes on, I just feel it's more and more worthwhile to put in some effort and get something nice on in your work. So before I start doing some new Una the K-Bunny comics, I'm going through and redrawing all of my character sheets just to make sure that I have all the details and proportions and everything worked out before I start again, so I have the consistency that I want in it. I loved reading the Archie series, Sonic the Hedgehog comics, and I was in the middle of doing the first run of Una webcomics when I'd never read the Sonic comics before, and so I found the digests, and I said, this is just probably the best cartooning being done in a high-profile comic right now. It's anthropomorphic. It's just very well drawn. I thought the stories were great and stuff too, and the art really reflected the kind of drama they were trying to achieve. So I said, this is it. This is how I've got to approach this. I've got to take it seriously. This is the first view of Una that you see on the sheet. I did that a side and a back view, and I'm going to do an action sheet too. The model sheets that I do, I guess they tend to be a little, you would call them bland or dull, but their purpose is to set the way everything is supposed to look on the character. Her necklace, the rest of her jewelry, just how her eyes are supposed to be drawn and her hair. I'm not trying for drama here. I'm trying to establish a consistent look. So establishing Una's look goes right back to those Bruce Timm designs and redesigns for Batman the Animated Series. I really wanted to get that kind of beauty and simplicity as much as I could. So almost every single line that you're looking at, I wanted to say something about Una, just to sort of through her proportions and through the kind of detail I was putting in. I want her to have a presence and something you can look at her immediately and kind of figure out what the cartoon might be about. And those books were a real help. The Batman Animated Series books were it's a compendium of the art done in the book. They were just really helpful in helping me to strip the character down and insert what needed to be there.